What's up, mortals? It is zor-el here with a new video for you. Welcome to part 15 of What If Izuku Was a Stand User. I just wanted to greet you guys by saying sit back and relax. You're in for a treat. So, we begin. Midoriya got up from his seat as he notified his class he was leaving to check up on Tokoyami in the nurse's office. He just witnessed the two matches that followed the Yaoyorozu Tokage bout, where Class B's Sen Kaibara defeated Class A's Yuga Aoyama, and Tenya Ida of Class A defeated Reiko Yanagi of Class B, as the sixth match was about to get underway between Kaminari and Todoroki. Midoriya was silent about it, but had a fairly decent idea as to who would come out on top, and decided to use the time to see Fumikage in the nurse's office and speak with him. However, while en route to the nurse's office, he spotted the backside of a large man with flames all over his upper body just down the hallway. Izuku's fanboy knowledge helped instantly recognize the man as the number 2 hero Endeavor. He also noticed he was speaking to Shoto Todoroki, of all people. Alright, allow me to be the first to say what many of you will probably be thinking. Shoto! Okay, there we go. I said it. I said the thing. Izuku, being the nosy type he was, decided to listen into the conversation from a distance away to see what a hero like Endeavor could want with Shoto. He summoned his stand and ordered it to use its sense-altering ability on his ears so he could better hear the conversation from where he was standing. "I've been watching your behavior, Shoto. You're acting disgracefully," the number 2 hero said to Todoroki. The boy reacted by turning around and walking out to the arena, abruptly ending his talk. "At some point, you're going to have to put this rebellious side of yours to bed. You'll never be the hero to surpass All Might if you keep relying on your right side." "Is that all you have to say to me, father?" Shoto said with disgust in his voice. "I made it clear that I'm going to win this tournament using Mom's quirk. I will never become the monster you are." Father? Midoriya thought in his head. Wait, Endeavor is Todoroki's father? Holy whoa! No wonder he got in on recommendation! But from the sounds of it, they don't seem to get along. Could this be the source of why he's been acting off recently? "Assuming you do win this tournament with only your ice, you'll soon realize the limitations of half your strength, Shoto. What will you do then?" Todoroki didn't respond to his father's question as he walked into the arena with his fist clenched and the hatred of his father boiling in his mind. Midoriya leaned against the wall, trying to process what he heard as the number 2 hero made his way towards Midoriya's direction, briefly stopping in front of the boy. "Oh, it's you, the boy with the bizarre quirk," Endeavor analyzed, looking at the slightly intimidated boy before him. "If you end up facing Shoto in the finals, you better put up a good fight against him, and don't hold back. He needs to understand that he'll never be the number 1 hero if he relies solely on half his power. Hopefully you might be the one to teach him this." Endeavor walked off, leaving Izuku with so many questions in his head to think about. He shoved his curiosity to the side for now and walked into Recovery Girl's office to find Tokoyami awake, standing, and speaking to Recovery Girl. "Oh, well, speak of the devil, here he is now," Recovery Girl said out loud. "Hey, Tokoyami, you're all right," Midoriya said. "Oh, Midoriya. Yes, I'm well again. Thankfully, whatever you did to me had no lingering effects," Tokoyami stated. "Recovery Girl told me you came by earlier to check on me as you felt guilty for what you did to me at the end of our match." Izuku followed Tokoyami's words by apologizing for how the fight ended. Midoriya didn't mean to use such an extreme tactic on him, as he tried to explain as best as he could what happened and what he really planned on doing during the end of the fight. "Midoriya, don't apologize," the bird-headed student responded. "I told you before the match to not hold back and give it your all. And even though you took me by surprise with the trick I hadn't perceived, you did just that. At least now I know the truth of whether your quirk or mine is stronger, which means I now must train myself to be better than you." "Well, actually, Tokoyami, I wouldn't say my quirk is completely stronger than yours," Izuku clarified. "After trading blows with your dark shadow and almost knocking me out of bounds, I can tell you that your quirk is definitely stronger and faster than my personal Jesus. I was just able to one-up you due to my quirk's invisibility. Honestly, if you could see my personal Jesus and where it was the whole match, I think you would have beaten me. What I'm trying to say is, both our quirks have different strengths that are strong in their own way. But we've only been UA students for several weeks now. We have plenty of time to train our abilities and become stronger during our time here." Tokoyami was silent for several seconds as he analyzed his classmate's words.
I see. Well, I appreciate your honesty, Midoriya.
I have a feeling this won't be the last time you and I spar against each other. Till then, I hope you will refine your quirk's abilities, just like I plan on refining my dark shadow. Izuku nodded in response.
All right, boys, I hate to butt in on your conversation, but you two should be on your way. The nurse's office is not a place for social calls. I have more students coming my way shortly, and I'm sure you two want to catch the rest of the fights that are...
Just then, the entire building shook as if there was an earthquake or a massive explosion, stopping the nurse from finishing her sentence.
What on earth? An earthquake?
What the heck could that... Oh god, I hope it's not another attack like at the USJ! Act 2, let's go! Izuku's stand opened the door for its master as he made a sprint for the outside arena with Tokoyami just behind him. When he got towards the archway of the arena, his eyes immediately glared at the massive glacier covering half of the arena, silencing all those in attendance. Even President Mike and Vlad King were speechless. While Izuku was in the nurse's office, the matchup between Todoroki and Kaminari started with the electric one of the two firing a 1.3 million volt shock at Todoroki, who was so distracted with the hatred of his father in mind, he had zoned out of the fight and took a direct hit of Denki's attack, forcing him to his knees. After several seconds, he slowly got back to his feet as Kaminari was about ready to hit the boy with another shock, until Todoroki snapped and threw a gargantuan ice attack at his opponent, resulting in what Midoriya witnessed now. Holy crap, dude. Kaminari shivered in the ice. I knew I didn't stand much of a chance, but this is a bit much. Midnight asked if Kaminari was able to move, to which the boy said that he could barely feel his legs. As such, Midnight crowned Todoroki the winner of the sixth match. The audience was silent for several moments before beginning the chant, "Nice try! Nice try! Nice try! Nice try!" Todoroki slowly walked to Kaminari, using his left side to free the boy from his ice prison.
I'm sorry. I lost control of myself there.
Izuku continued staring at Shoto-free Denki as he realized this action had to be related to his issues with his father. Izuku knew that Shoto had to be hurting inside, and knew he had to speak with him soon about what was going on in his head. Vlad King announced that the next match would be delayed for about 15 to 20 minutes so Todoroki's ice would be cleared out. Till then, Izuku used the time to check in on Uraraka, who was in the waiting room. Hey, Uraraka, how's it? Oh god, Uraraka, are you okay? Your face looks off. Izuku noticed that Uraraka had a very uncomfortable look on her face, like she was distressed about something. My face? She looked at the reflection on the screen of her phone and realized what Izuku was talking about. Oh, I'm sorry. Sometimes I have a weird look on my face when I'm stressed or scared about stuff. It's a habit that's stuck around since I was a kid. Sorry. Are you okay? Are you nervous about your match with that Monomo guy coming up? Izuku questioned. I guess. Well, I don't know. I guess I was a bit anxious about my match with him at first. You know, being in front of a crowd of thousands of people, fighting someone who has a quirk I don't know about, but my anxiety got kicked up to 10 when I saw what Todoroki did a few minutes ago. I mean, if I beat Monoma, and then whoever I'll face in the quarterfinals, which will likely be Bakugo, then I'll end up facing Todoroki. Well, if Ida loses against him, that is, but he's really good with his quirk, so... yeah, I guess I got the realization that I got some tough competition lined up for me. So I'm just really nervous is all. Oh, yeah, no, I understand, Izuku said. I mean, if I can help, I could use my personal Jesus to alter your brain and get rid of the anxiety you're feeling if you want. Oh, no, you don't have to do that, Midoriya. Really, I'll be fine. Oh, alrighty then. I understand. A few seconds of awkward silence filled the room before Midoriya spoke further. So, what's your plan on going up against Monoma? I mean, I don't know how good he is, but I've taken notes on your power and, well, we could brainstorm a strategy together. Wait, you have journal notes about my quirk? Uraraka questioned him with an odd tone. She then shook her head as she remembered what was on her mind and again refused the friend's help. Oh, okay, I'm sorry, I just know, it's fine, Midoriya. Really, I just
Well,
Uraraka took a second to think of the way to explain to her friend what she was thinking of. After a moment, she sighed and looked at her curly-haired friend and told her what she was thinking about.
Midoriya, during the obstacle course, I wasn't around when you said it, but I remember hearing you say something to Ashido about how it would do more harm than good to rely on other people to get out of tough situations. I've been thinking about what you said then, and, well, to be honest, Deku, I think you're right. I mean, I know I never got the chance to say this to you before, but I really look up to you. I do. You're amazing. I mean, when I think back on how you saved my life during the entrance exams, or how I saw you fight off Bakugo and Aoyama all by yourself, and even how you came up with that plan to help me and Ida advance this far into the sports festival, well, thinking about all of that, it really makes me admire you and your drive to be a hero, and how you want to help people. That's the kind of hero I want to be. Someone like you. So I'm taking your advice, and I'm going into this tournament without any help or advice from others. I hope you understand, but hey.
Ochako gave Izuku the best smile she could muster up in that moment, along with a thumbs up.
When I make it to the finals, I hope to see you there. Good luck in your matches, Deku. I'll be rooting for you.
Izuku smiled back at Uraraka as he responded with, "You as well, Uraraka." "Thanks." The greenette opened up the door and returned to the stands to sit with his class. The first thing he noticed was Tokoyami, who rejoined their classmates, as he gave Midoriya a grin and a nod before Izuku sat down and got his hero notebook out for the fight ahead.
All right, sports fans, it's time for our 7th match, so let's not waste any more time. Coming to the center of the stage from the northern side is the zero-gravity queen of Hero Corsae herself, the one and only Ochako Unaraka. And her opponent, approaching from the south side, he is the obviously better trained and cunning force of nature of Class B himself. It's Nato Monoma, who's really going to make his class proud. Yeah. Nato Monoma, everyone.
Monoma chuckled a bit at the biased words of his homeroom teacher before confidently glaring at his opponent, who was taking a deep breath to compose herself for the fight. "What's the matter, Uraraka? You nervous about fighting me?" Ochako gave the boy a battle-ready glare as she got down into a fighting stance.
Nope. I'm ready when you are.
Monoma reacted with a condescending giggle and a brush of his blonde hair before responding with, "Oh, I have been ready, but I don't think you're ready for what's about to happen."
Wait, what?
7th match, begin!
Uraraka was still for a second trying to piece together what Monoma just said, only to notice him slowly walking her way. Ochako focused as she ran as quick as she could towards her opponent, with her hands prepped to touch Monoma and send him out of bounds for a quick, easy victory. Nato, on the other hand, didn't ease up on his slow walk as Ochako got closer. Eventually, the boy stopped about 7 meters from Uraraka. He then moved his foot a tad, causing the ground in front of him to become liquid-like as Ochako fell into the softened ground.
What the heck? Wait, this is the quirk that Hononuki had during the cavalry Oh no, wait!
Monoma moved his foot once more, hardening the ground and trapping Ochako's ankles in the cement. Midoriya, Ida, and several others in Class A reacted in shock, knowing Uraraka was in trouble, while those in Class B cheered for their classmate.
What is this? You seriously have the same quirk as someone in your class?
Not quite, Monoma responded. Anyway, I think we're done here. Sorry to end this fight so abruptly, but I prefer to save my energy for my next fight. See, if Bakugo ends up winning the next match, and between you and me, that's a very likely probability. That means me and him will get to duke it out, and I definitely want to be at 100% for that. Midnight declared Monoma the victor of the 7th match as the blonde boy softened the ground to free his opponent, which took Ochako several moments to leave the trap, mainly because of how disappointed she was in how the fight ended. She was hoping to make those around her proud, but she was caught off guard by the trick Monoma had in store for her. Upset at the results, she left the arena with her head down, disappointed in the outcome. Eventually, she made it back to her classmates, still disappointed at her loss. but with her spirits beginning to slowly pick back up as she sat with her friends. Minutes later, the last two fighters of the starting rounds made their way to the arena, with the female one of the two looking like she was on the brink of an anxiety attack. Even those in Class B and just under half of those in Class A were having thoughts that they were not gonna like this fight. This video is sponsored by SoundPeats and their new TrueFree 2 wireless earbuds to provide the next level of quality and comfort. Ever gone out for a run and had to readjust your buds every 5 minutes? Maybe 3, 2? How about worry about getting caught in the rain and ruining your $200 earbuds? Well, those days are behind you with an ergonomic design created to stay on through even the most rigorous workout or function through a cascade of rain with its IPX7 water resistance. Enjoy 20 hours of battery life and seamless switching between earbuds without interruptions at a fraction of the price of most premium earbuds. Check out the new TrueFree 2 wireless earbuds in the link in the description. Also, know that using the link below, you won't only get an excellent audio experience, still, you'll be supporting the channel so we can continue to provide the highest quality content possible. Each purchase helps, so if you're on the lookout for a new pair of buds, we got you covered.
Alright everyone, it's time for the final match of the first round. First up from Hero Course A, it's the man with the quirk that's just as explosive as his determination to win, and his temper. Oh, don't tell him I said that. It's Katsuki Bakugo! And his opponent, Vlad King and his students know her as the Princess of Portobello, the Master Baitaki, and even the Amanita Angel. She's Hero Course B's Kinoko Komori! So you're Komori, eh? You don't look so tough. Bakugo gazed at his opponent, noticing she was slightly shaking, as if she was fearful of the fight. I mean, honestly, going up against Bakugo, who wouldn't be? The explosive blonde realized she was giving off the same kind of fearful energy that Izuku once had in elementary and middle school, where he was bullied by Katsuki, and how he'd always shake in fear. At his presence. Bakugo could tell the girl had no confidence in winning this fight. However, instead of feeling relief that he had this fight in the back, Bakugo instead felt ticked off that this girl wanted to fight him despite showing signs of fear. Typical Bakugo. Hey! I don't know what quirk you got, but I can tell you can't beat me! Kinoko looked up at her opponent with her fearful eyes hiding behind her bangs. So if you want to drop out, this is your one chance to do so, 'cause I'm not gonna hold back. Most didn't know this about Komori, but during this time of her life at UA, Kinoko was going through a self-doubting phase. After seeing students with quirks like Kendo, Tokage, and Tetsu and the incredible potential they have at being pro heroes, she began having doubts about her own capabilities and whether she could live up to the same expectations as the others in her class. She even thinks time to time about whether she deserves to be at UA since she barely passed the UA practicals. Because of this, Komori was having actual thoughts about taking her opponent's advice and forfeiting the fight, as she was terrified of what Bakugo might do to her. Hey! Don't listen to him, Komori! You made it this far to the tournament! Don't give up! Kendo yelled from the stands. Her cheers were joined by those of Tetsu, Hononuki, and even Tokage, who all encouraged her to fight. Not a moment later, a good few dozen to 100 of those in the audience joined in and cheered for her, including a few pro heroes in the crowd, taking the girl by surprise. With a slight boost in her confidence from the cheers, she took a deep breath and a step towards Bakugo with her fists balled up, deciding to fight on as Bakugo scowled at the girl trying to act tough. And now you die. 8th match begins! Show no mercy, Komori! Bakugo wasted little time in closing the distance between him and Komori. The girl panicked and extended her arms out, releasing some kind of transparent gas substance from the pores of her skin. The boy noticed what she did and fired off an explosion in the girl's direction, blasting her off her feet as she flew back several meters, causing the crowd who cheered for the mushroom girl to go silent as Bakugo noticed a few mushrooms spawning on his face and clothes, along with the area around Komori. What the hell? Bakugo questioned in shocked confusion, taking note of the mushrooms on his face. What the hell is... Wait, are these... mushrooms? Your quirk is that you grow mushrooms? Jesus Christ, no wonder you were scared shitless. You wanted to fight me with the crap power like this?
Katsuki fired another explosion towards Komori, knocking her further towards the edge and vaporizing most of the spores she released. The boy closed the distance once more as Kinoko screamed like a little girl, knowing she was done for as Bakugo's third explosion blew her out of bounds, prompting Midnight to crown Bakugo the winner of the match as he dusted off the few mushrooms Komori was able to grow on him. It wasn't a surprise to a lot of people that Bakugo won this fight, however. The sight of Bakugo going as all out as he did with Komori just didn't sit right with the majority of the audience. Well, as much as I hate to say it, our dear Komori didn't stand a chance against that bastard. Monoma! Ibara scolded in reaction to Monoma's choice of language. As much as I don't want to agree with you, Komori's opponent was a bad matchup for her. Poor girl. At least she gave it her all and didn't drop out. Yeah, that would have come back to bite her, Sen Kaibara commented. Well, anyway, looks like you're facing that jerk in the quarterfinals, Monoma. I know, and I'm gonna take great joy in humiliating that fool, Monoma stated as his eyes followed Katsuki exiting the arena. He's putting on a brave face, but I know he's not as 100% as he's acting. The only question is, which quirk and strategy should I use against him to guarantee my victory? So many options. Following Bakugo's match was an hour-long break to get the students ready for the quarterfinal matches. Speaking of which, Izuku was in one of the waiting rooms remembering the words Ojiro told Midoriya earlier. Midoriya, the guy you're facing in your next match has a mind control quirk. During the first match, that Class B girl Kendo fell victim to his power and lost the match not even a minute after it started. His quirk works through speech. If he says anything to you, and I mean anything, during the match, you cannot respond to him, okay? If you do, he'll beat you. So I just can't say anything to him, Izuku muttered to himself. Okay, that should be easy enough for me to counter. Still though, a mind control quirk. That's an insane power. I wonder how someone with a quirk like that ever ended up in the hero course. Izuku was stopped from having a muttering spree as one of the festival organizers knocked on the door and entered the room, telling Midoriya that it was time to head out. The greenette got up and followed the organizer out to the arena, ready to face off against Shinso. Alright, sports fans, it's time for the quarterfinal matchups, and we're starting things off with probably the most interesting matchup we're going to see all day. Both of these students don't have physically powered quirks and don't look tough on the surface, but they've made it past some intimidating competition so far and are about to duke it out with their bizarre quirks. It's Izuku Midoriya from the Hero course versus Hitoshi Shinso from General Studies. Midoriya and Shinso both eyeballed each other, with the purple-haired one of the two eagerly waiting for the sound of the cheering crowd to die down so he could begin setting up his trap. Meanwhile, those in the Hero course had their gazes fixed on the two students in the center stage. Come on, Midoriya, don't screw this up. I told you how to beat this guy. You got this, Ojiro thought in his head. Even those in Class B were invested in how this match would go. Shota, you think that guy Shinso's fighting has a chance at beating him? Kendo asked her fellow class rep. I'm not certain, he responded. Ojiro had to have told him about his brainwashing quirk, so he's probably going to make an effort to avoid letting Shinso use it. He also defeated Tokoyami in the first round, who has a powerful quirk which would no doubt take down Shinso if he were ready to face him. As long as Midoriya doesn't screw up. Yeah, I think he's got this. If not, either Kaibara or Tokage will have to face him. Kendo leaned back into her seat, letting out a light sigh as the crowd finally died down, allowing Shinso to make his move. So, you can make it this far into the festival and just give up. That doesn't sound like something a hero in training would do, wouldn't you agree? Midoriya knew what he was trying to do and kept his mouth shut and focused. After making it this far into the tournament, I realized something. This isn't just a competition to see who's the strongest. It's also a test of spirit to see who wants to be the best. First match of the quarterfinals, begin! If you want to be the best at something, you can't worry about what other people think of you. That monkey friend of yours was going on about his pride and mentioned that advancing this far in the tournament wasn't the right thing to do. If you ask me, he was just an idiot for throwing away his chance like that. Midoriya scowled at Shinso's words, but remembered what he was trying and ran towards Shinso without responding to the boy's words as he summoned his stand. Shinso quickly grew worried, knowing Midoriya wasn't falling for his plan and was getting closer and closer. He knew he was a goner. Until... Personal Jesus! Let him have it! Midoriya's eyes turned white as he stopped moving and became as still as a statue, just like what happened to Kendo. The students of Midoriya's class got up from their seats in shock. Oh no, Midoriya! Seriously? No way! Midoriya! No! I told him not to say anything! Midoriya stopped just a foot away from Act 2's 6-meter range, prompting the stand to turn around and slowly approach its master, confused. Midoriya?
Earth to Midoriya! What are you doing? Why are you...
That boy. He used his quirk on you. S-H-I-T! Shinso quickly relaxed, knowing his opponent had become pacified and that he had this fight won. Whoa, hold the phone, folks. I'm getting some major deja vu vibes here. This is just like what happened to Kendo during the day's first match. President Mike commented. Midoriya's not moving an inch now, and Shinso's looking more mellow than he was a moment ago. Whatever that kid's quirk is, it looks like he used it on Midoriya and pacified him. This match is just about over. That General Studies kid is a force to be reckoned with, listeners! Holy crap, that was close, Shinso thought to himself as he calmed down. That kid. He was trying his best not to say anything to me. Did he figure out how my power works? No. He wouldn't have said anything if he did. Unless... Damn it, someone ratted out my power to him. It was probably that girl I fought in the first round or that monkey-tailed guy for the cavalry battle. Those Hero Corps students are starting to pick up on how my power works. And if they figure that out, whatever. I'll cross that bridge when I reach to it. For now, it's time to finish this. Shinso took a few steps forward and sighed before directing his attention towards Midoriya. I'm actually sort of impressed. You lasted a bit longer than the girl I fought in the last round. And yet you couldn't even take me down either. Pathetic. Now turn around and walk out of... Huh? Shinso stopped his sentence as he noticed Midoriya's upper body was strangely wobbling, as if someone or something was grabbing his shirt and shaking him. Hey! Snap out of it, Midoriya! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Midoriya's white eyes reverted back to its natural jade color as Personal Jesus fought away Shinso's control of its master. Whoa, hey! Act 2! What are you... What happened? Midoriya tried to get his bearings as everyone in the audience were bewildered at what just happened, but none more than Shinso himself. What? What? How? How did you do that? Midoriya reverted his attention back to Shinso. Shinso? Midoriya's eyes once again reverted back to white pigment as Act 2 returned its attention to its master. Seriously? Again? Personal Jesus again grabbed its master's shirt and shook as Shinso noticed something was seriously off. What the hell's with this guy? Hitoshi thought. He can't break my brainwashing like that. No one can! Damn it, I gotta move fast! Hitoshi began to give Midoriya another order. Hey! Whatever you used to fight off my quirk, get rid of it! Midoriya, no! Izuku slightly lifted his right arm as the stand faded into Midoriya's body before it could fight off Shinso's control. However, the stand being sentient and having a will of its own, it reappeared from its master's body, slightly more irritated than it was a moment ago. The stand was going to bonk Midoriya with its shield, but noticed Shinso approaching the brainwashed teen. What the hell kind of quirk does this kid have? Was actually able to fight off my power? Jesus Christ. Shinso muttered to himself. Alright, enough games. Turn around and run out of bounds now! And don't stop until... Before Shinso could finish his command, Personal Jesus latched itself to Shinso's head, as he unknowingly got within Midoriya's 6-meter range for his stand to attack. Hitoshi panicked as he felt something gripping the side of his head as he smacked his head and flailed his arms around, trying to fight off whatever was attacking him. But his efforts were useless. The shield on Midoriya's stand spun around, locked onto a symbol, and began inflicting Shinso with the status effect. About 2 seconds later, Shinso fainted to the ground, dropping like a sack of dead weight. The crowd went silent, having no idea what the hell just happened. 1 second, Shinso was flailing his arms around trying to fight off something. The next, he's on the ground and out like a light, all while Midoriya was as still as a statue. The stand returned to its master and gave its master a few taps on the forehead to wake its master up, while Midnight ran in to check on Shinso. What? Act 2? What just...
It's over, Midoriya.
The stand telepathically interrupted. Shinso has been defeated. We win. The first thing Midoriya spotted was Midnight kneeling down beside Shinso to check on his status. What happened? What did you do? Midoriya asked out loud. Midnight glanced at Midoriya for a second, unaware of who he was actually speaking to before returning her attention to the purple-haired teen. I triggered a vasovagal syncope in the purple-haired one's brain, Midoriya. A very common bodily reaction to fear and stress that causes a person to faint from excess stress. This is what I had hoped to do to Tokoyami during our last fight, but fate can be picky. Midoriya took a step back as he gazed at the suddenly quiet crowd, everyone having looks of absolute bewilderment and confusion as to what the heck just happened. Even the UA teachers and those of the hero course couldn't fathom what happened. Midoriya had a feeling he was going to have a lot of explaining to do. Shinso is unable to continue. Izuku Midoriya advances to the next round! Thank you all for sticking around, and I hope that you enjoy. Before you leave, we would just like to let you know that We the Celestials has many other channels for your entertainment and viewing purposes. Some of them include memes, which I handpick, and others include an abridged channel. All the information you'll need is right below here in the description, so feel free to check out all the other incredible projects our team creates. Secondly, on behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank everybody involved in the production of today's awesome content. Their details will be in the description below. That's all for today's video, so goodbye and have a divine day.